It's football. I've been watching it for 40 years.
Are you kidding me?
You're listening to Winning Cures Everything.
Game day, baby. Wake up or get out.
Here's your host,
A confident young man, a superb athlete.
Gary Segars.
Yes, indeed. Welcome aboard. We are back here as part of the Winning Cures Everything platforms, the YouTube page, the podcast with Three Dog Thursday. We're all about the teams that are less thought of, that are usually the road team, not given much of a chance. Woof, woof. The underdogs are back in college football. I am merely the somewhat capable co-host, TJ Rives. Hello, Gary Segars, the purveyor, the owner, the operator of everything Winning Cures, from the website to the YouTube page to the platform. My friend, it is great to see you. I have missed you, and we are back because college football is back, Gary.
Oh, you have got that right, my friend. You and I have been doing this, since 2019, somewhere around 2018, maybe? It's been a very long time.
It's been at least since last decade for you and me, and you keep returning my call, my email, my text message, so we must be doing something right. And let me say this. If you have not been on Gary's content throughout the month of August as we initiate, as we blast off here into the college football first true weekend, where have you been? What's wrong with you? My man has been killing it with all the previews, the insight, the analysis, the spread talk, all of it as part of Winning Cures. We just kind of coexist on Thursdays talking the underdogs here in the relationship on the video show. And for the podcast audience, the Three Dog Thursday podcast audience, come find the video. Come find the moving pictures on Gary's Winning Cures Everything YouTube page. Find it as well on his winningcureseverything.com website. So no matter if you're seeing us or hearing us, thank you for being here. We're going to be here to do the underdog thing each and every week. Take the different angle. And Gary, we're usually pretty good at getting you. We're each going to go with three every week. We're pretty good at getting you 3, 4, maybe even more underdogs that come home this week. And there's such a buffet to go over for this week. It is so vast. And again, I again publicly say, at the risk of just groveling, you've done a great job of educating me leading up to week one. I've been watching a lot of your stuff, and I'm ready to go over that with you. Just as a quick comment from you, how anxious are you to see all of this, get all this started? It's weird to say, but it's Ohio State's national title defense. They open it up with Texas, who's the preseason number 1. We got to find out, is Notre Dame still as good as what they were a year ago? Is Alabama going to be better or worse than a year ago when they only won 9 games and it snapped their streak of 15, 16, 27, 95 straight 10-win seasons, whatever Alabama had. They only won 9 games. You would have thought Kalen DeBoer was 3-9, not 9-3.
It's different in Tuscaloosa.
I understand that, but whether you're talking about USC or Michigan or Florida or Clemson or LSU, we are all. How excited are you for all of this to get underway this week?
I'm hoping it is not nearly as sloppy as week 0 was, because I watched all day on week 0, and it was some pretty atrocious football.
Yeah, there was some problems.
Now, granted, in Ireland, we got all the weather stuff, and there's a chance of rain, obviously, in Florida on Saturday. So,
yeah,
Florida State, Alabama. Kalen DeBoer came out today and talked about how they're making sure that the balls are wet.
Yeah,
all the different puns that you want to throw in there, you can absolutely do that. But he's making sure that they do not have the same kind of performance that they did against Michigan.
And by the way, that was in Tampa. I did that game on local radio, and the weather did bother Jalen Milroe, who turned the ball over like 3 times in the first half. So they have, unfortunately, bad experience with that.
The year before that, they were at USF. right?
Yeah,
And
they
that
played
was
USF in the
17-14
regular
game.
season. Same stadium, same situation with bad weather, lightning, rain, the whole bit. It can be a
And played awful.
factor. Stay tuned. The elements could be a factor in some places. It's more the heat, it's more thunderstorms. Then later in the year, it starts to get a little cool, and then you start talking about cold weather and snow and that kind of stuff for later in the year. Big Ten, Northeast, that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's
Stay
something
tuned.
I'm interested in, by the way. This weekend, I mean, we're looking at anywhere from 60 to 80 degrees basically across the entire college football landscape. I mean, there's going to be people out at Buckeye Stadium with jackets on, like it's
Yeah.
in August. I mean, what are we doing?
Well,
So
yeah,
I'm,
but
I'm excited about it.
in Florida, we don't put a jacket on usually till Thanksgiving. So I agree with you. It's unusual. Okay, same thing in Southern California. They don't put a jacket on for a long time
Exactly.
in a calendar year. Just welcome to it. Okay, so this is what we do. We go after it with the underdogs, and we look to try to get home with as many as we can. We're each going to give you 3 of them. Again, onslaught of games. Thursday's got what? 12, 16, 25, 39. I don't even know how many
Majority
games.
FCS, FBS, but
I
yes, a lot.
understand. I want to lock in. Can I go first on the inaugural blast-off
Go
edition
first.
of Three Dog Thursday? Can I go
This
first?
is your
Because
show.
this
Do
is
it.
third. No, this is your platform, though, and usually you go first, but this is chronological Thursday night, tonight, as we release the video show in the pod, 7 Eastern time in Raleigh, NC State, East Carolina. Gary, I've been studying up on this. I watched your stuff again on Winning Cures. I've watched some stuff some other places. This is interesting because these two teams ended last season with a bowl game. A lot of the rosters are still similar. The coaches are still similar, and now they open this season with an opening game against each other. East Carolina won the bowl game. NC State is the home team here in this instance. And again, I did my homework where for ECU, the last 4 openers, they're 4-0 against the number, and they're getting 2 touchdowns here. What, 14 and a half points against an
14 across the board.
All right, so NC State has been decent, but again, they lost to this East Carolina team in the bowl. NC State has not been very good in openers. 0-3 in the last 3 opening games against the spread for Doran's team. Am I wrong to think that ECU, the Pirates, can hang tough here with NC State and hang within the 2 touchdowns? I'll take that right away on Three Dog Thursday. The video audience is seeing a little statistical breakdown while we talk. Go ahead, Gary. Another thought?
My number on this is NC State minus 13.5. I think it could get ugly in favor of NC State. The bowl.
Why?
The bowl situation. They fought before the game. They fought after the game. They don't like each other. Blake Harrell against Dave Doran is from my perspective, a coaching mismatch. If you look at the roster talent here, NC State number 45, East Carolina number 85, and the fact that NC State is at home, the last 2 times they played in Raleigh, NC State won by a combined 92-9 score. Now that was 2018-2019.
Ouch, babe. Well, yeah, it was a while ago.
But if you look at, so I've got position breakdowns, and these are based on experience and recruiting ratings, right? The offensive line for NC State is number 37 in the country. The defensive line for East Carolina is number 122. East Carolina may not get the ball very much. And if you look at offensive time per play, with C.J. Bailey at quarterback and whatnot for NC State, number 127. So they play as slow as molasses. East Carolina likes to go up and down the field. If East Carolina is going 3 and out a lot,
trouble.
It could get a little tricky.
Trouble.
Yeah,
and it's at Raleigh. It's an opening game for both teams. How's it going to look? Again, East Carolina was an 8-win team a year ago. I got one more number that I like, and that is, as a program, the Pirates are 10-4 the last 14 games against the ACC against the number, against the spread. 10-4 is not bad. I think it's maybe too many points here. You make a good point about NC State holding the football and bullying them and running it and wearing them down. Stay tuned on if it can happen. So we get an underdog right out of the way on Thursday night with the Pirates of East Carolina. That is game number 1. Give me an underdog that you like. Are you going to go to Saturday and right away on Saturday?
We are. And I'm going to go against my number here, but we are going down to New Orleans. That's right. We're down to the Bayou, and we're going to check out Tulane and Northwestern. Tulane currently is, let's see, I believe they are a 6-point favorite as we speak. There are some 5.5s out there. So everything about this, based on last year's numbers, if you're putting in priors, and if you do a good model, you're going to have a lot of priors in there, especially early in the season. The issue that I run into now is with all the transfers and the quarterbacks moving and all that. The priors really don't mean anything.
Right.
So Darian Mensah is gone. He's at Duke now. He was the quarterback at Tulane last year and had a phenomenal season. If you look at the way that Tulane ended the year last year, I was not a big fan of that at all. They got beat at home by Memphis by 2 touchdowns. They got destroyed by Army in the ACC title game, and then they got whipped on by Florida in the bowl game. And that was Florida without a lot of their main pieces. So, they did still have DJ Lagway, so that was good. Yeah, we've got a 6, a 6, a 6, and a 5.5 on this. So, David Braun is the coach at Northwestern. I like what he's doing here, and of course, the offense coordinator Zach Lujan came over from South Dakota State 2 years ago. Fantastic job there. I like what he was able to do there. I like what he did with the offense last year. I just don't know if he really had the pieces. All the talk with Tulane right now, the quarterback is either Jake Retzlaff, who came over from BYU.
What do we know? He transferred in a hurry because
he's a walk-on.
Retzlaff had a great year at BYU, but you know this, the audience may not know this, honor code violation, not unlike the winning cures everything standards and practices. We have an honor code here, and you better behave if you're going to be on Gary's platforms. Shall we 100%. Say it? Shall we say it? Retzlaff got caught having premarital sex, and the Mormons do not fool around with that. They were going to suspend him for over half the year, like 7 games. And he found that out, and he went to Tulane as a transfer in the transfer portal within the last few weeks. Do we anticipate he may play some in this opening game against Northwestern, or probably not? Or what do we know real quick?
What we know is that he could end up playing. They're not really giving a lot of information about that. But if he doesn't play, then the starting quarterback for Tulane is going to be Brendan Sullivan, who was the starting quarterback at Northwestern last year.
Isn't that wild? Wow.
Oh, yeah. Preston Stone is the new quarterback at Northwestern. He transferred. He was the backup at SMU last year. Started out the season as the starter, dealt with some injuries. Kevin Jennings took over, never gave the job back. So he goes up to Northwestern. And now I think Northwestern has some really good pieces. The defensive line for Northwestern has an advantage over the offensive line for Tulane. The defensive line and offensive line for Tulane and Northwestern, pretty even, roundabout. I think that this offense for Tulane could have some problems here. I love David Braun. I love him as a coach. My number on this is Tulane minus 11.2, so you would think this is an automatic bet. No, sir. I'm going the opposite direction. I think Northwestern can win this game outright, so I will take the Wildcats to not only cover the number, I think they're going to pull the upset
early
on Saturday morning.
Start, like you mentioned, 11 a.m. Central Time start. Going to be hot outdoors in New Orleans at Tulane's on-campus stadium. Stay tuned for this for Northwestern and Tulane. That is Gary's Underdog number 1. We love doing this on 3 Dog Thursday. By the way, I haven't said this yet. If you're watching us on the YouTube video, do 2 things. Not only hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the platform, but comment on the video down below. What they tell us in the algorithms, what do we know, is that the comments and the interaction help. They help the algorithms see that more people are interested in this. You want to help us out, you enjoy the content, say so. You disagree with us, you think Gary's brilliant, say it. You think I'm a moron, say it. Put it in the comments down below on the video.
Not going to hurt anybody's feelings here.
No, my feelings haven't been hurt in like decades. Here, you got to have a thick skin, especially if you get these games wrong. You know, people are going to come at you and take 2-handed swings like Barry Bonds at you if you don't get these games right. So in any event, 1 underdog a piece here. And again, help us out by sharing the show out. Podcast audience, give us a 5-star review, the whole bit. All right, all the promos out of the way. Can we go to another underdog? I like a Friday night matchup with the Big 12 and the SEC. Interesting national TV game on Fox in Waco, Texas for Baylor and for Auburn. What did you say on Winning Cures earlier this week? Auburn has not played a true opening road game to start a season, true road game, not a neutral field game, since playing USC in 2003 at the Coliseum.
That is correct.
Can that be right, that they haven't played through about 5 presidential administrations on the road to start the season in a true road game? That is the case.
It's
That
wild.
is the
They
case.
have won 8 straight openers,
Right?
but none of those have been on the road. They've been at home against Alabama State and the likes, right?
Yes, yes. So Baylor got very good at the end of last year running the football. One of the best running teams in college football the back half of the season. Sawyer Robertson's a quarterback. I know one of the Baylor running backs is injured, but this is Baylor at home getting points. I paid attention to your research that Baylor is 2-2 straight up and against the spread in the last 4 games with the SEC. They are also 6-1 against the number in their last 7 home games. ATS, favored or an underdog, 6-1 Baylor. And again, for Auburn, even though they've won 8 straight opening games, none of those were on the road as a true road team. One of them might have been a neutral field, but they have not been a true road team in any of those. I like Baylor on Friday night. Sick 'em from the Baylor Bears and Dave Aranda to win this game outright. That's my second underdog. Anything else from you stand out on this game?
Our number on this is 2.5 across the board. So we don't have a 3 yet. If you wait around a little bit closer to kickoff on Friday night, you'll probably see a lot of Auburn love coming in. You might be able to get a 3. So pay attention to the numbers. Those things matter, especially if you were on the Stanford side against Hawaii on Saturday. There was a 3 that popped eventually, but it wasn't long. It wasn't for long. I'm with you on this. I like Sawyer Robertson. I like Jake Spavital coming in. What he did with the offense last year was brilliant. I think they've got some weapons. The roster talent certainly is in favor of Auburn, but it was with Auburn a lot last year. The stuff that's coming out of camp about the quarterback situation, I don't like it. I don't like Hugh Freeze talking about the fact that there are 3 different guys calling plays on 3 different plays each series. One guy is calling first down plays. Hugh is calling second down plays. Derek Nix is.
Wait, can we settle on a play caller? What could possibly go wrong if we start getting confused on who's calling the play next?
And Hugh apparently has the veto power.
Oh, great. So that's a 4th different voice that's now going to veto and call the play. How warm does his seat get right away if Baylor wins this game, Gary, against Auburn?
He'll have plenty of opportunities to rectify the situation, but I mean, really, really, really warm. They started on him in the off season.
Yes,
because they started in with all the golf stuff. He plays too much golf.
Right.
I don't blame the man for playing golf.
Yeah. How about this? I've come with this retort, and then we'll move on. Steve Spurrier played golf all the time while killing everybody. You know this in the SEC in the early 90s. It ain't about playing golf. It's about winning games. And if they can win games, they won't care if he's playing golf, if he's going to Cabo. They won't care what he's doing if they win games. But I don't think they win this one. And he's lost some games that he shouldn't have lost the last couple of years. And it's not going to be a whole lot of leeway for Hugh Freeze to lose very many times this year before the Auburn fans are all over him. And then they go through another coaching change. It's like every 3 or 4 years, we got to be paying somebody tens of millions of dollars to not coach at Auburn. Might as well 100%. Be Hugh Freeze next.
If Auburn does win this game, it's going to be because of their offensive line.
All right.
I mean, they've got a massive mismatch.
Do you see it as low scoring real quick before we move on? A lot of time consuming drives. Both teams like to run it. Do you see it as low scoring, Baylor Auburn Friday night?
I think Baylor's going to throw the ball more.
All right.
Just to guess on this, I think they're going to throw the ball quite a bit. I would say my guess, if Jake Spavital and Hugh Freeze, you automatically think over. But I kind of think low scoring might be where it's at because I don't expect Auburn to put up a ton of points, and I think that their defense will be good enough to at least slow Baylor down a little bit. But when it comes to crunch time, I'm on the Bears. Like I trust
second doggy. Gary Segars is validating my doggy pick is Baylor from the host on 3 Dog Thursday. All right, so let's stay in the state of Alabama, the great state, and you lean Alabama, by the way, on the show as if people didn't know that on the Winning Cures platforms. Tide and Florida State. Here, I understand. Tide and Florida State in Tallahassee, in T-Town, the state capital of the state that I'm in.
Nope. Different T-Town, right?
Different T-Town, not Tuscaloosa, but the T-Town, Tallahassee. A lot of people think I'm in the state of confusion, but I'm in the state of Florida. Florida State, a 2-touchdown underdog at home Are you looking at Mike Norvell's Seminoles off a 2-10 season against Alabama as an underdog on Three Dog Thursday, Gary?
I absolutely am. And look, Alabama, Jam Miller, the starting running back, is going to be out for this game. He's going to be out until the Georgia game, at least. He's got a dislocated collarbone. Tim Keenan III, who is the starting defensive lineman and the only one that has any real size, Kalen DeBoer came out today and said that he is not likely to be 100% and really not even necessarily likely to play in the game. That's a big issue.
Ankle injury reportedly. Doubtful to play, probably not going to play.
And
How
that
much
is
does
a
that
major
affect
problem.
them?
Major problem, because if you look at what Florida State brought in, they have 8 new starters, all transfers coming in on offense. Thomas Castellanos is a running quarterback. That is a bit of an issue. What Gus Malzahn likes to do, if you look at what Oklahoma ran against this 3-3-5 defense last year and what Vanderbilt did, Alabama could not get them off the field. That was a problem. And Florida State is going to run effectively the same kind of thing. They brought in 4 fifth-year senior offensive linemen that average like 6'3", 310 pounds.
Woo!
And Alabama's defensive line, again, Kane Womack likes to run a 3-3-5, so you only got 3 down. At that point, it's a numbers game. Will they be able to get Florida State off the field? I'm curious. Roydell Williams is the starting running back for Florida State. He was injured for part of last year. I think he'll be fine. He came over from Alabama after Saban left. And Thomas Castellanos talks a lot, but the man can run the ball. And
but Florida State is off a horrible season, and they're home here.
None of those players are here.
I understand that. They're home here. I get that. They're home here. They have got to deliver at least a good showing, even if, and you obviously believe they will deliver a good showing, getting what, 13.5, 14 points from Alabama. But if
I'm going
they
against my number again.
But if they don't, if Alabama wears them down and beats them up off a 2-10 season, I mean, they were already frothing at the end of last year about Mike Norvell. They want to see Florida State be better. I just don't know how much better they're going to be against Alabama, but the injuries could be key. But you'll still say no. Oh, you say Knowles in Tallahassee. Again, heat and humidity could be a factor. Saturday afternoon game in Tallahassee. Weather, rain, lightning, all of that could be a factor. Brand new field at Doak Campbell. They just put the field in late last week. They call it game-grown turf, G-R-O-W-N. It's grown somewhere else and then rolled in. Did you know this? Did you know we were going to do agronomy? You did not know that we were going to do agronomy on Three Dog Thursday on the Winning Cures platforms and the pod. They rolled the turf in last weekend to have it take. Listen to me sounding like I know something about lawns when I regularly kill my front lawn at the Rives place. But they have a brand new field in Tallahassee. It was dirt at Doak Campbell Stadium until like last Friday, about a week ago. It will be ready to go. A lot of teams in the NFL do this. They bring the field in 10 days in advance or 14 days in advance while they're gone on the road or whatever, bring a new field in, put it in, have the grass take, the whole bit. Let's see if it's an issue. You don't think it will be. You think Florida State more time.
Florida State, I don't think they win the game. I think Alabama does have enough talent to be able to win. I'm looking at a time of possession for Florida State's offense of like 40 minutes. Like I think it could be that crazy.
And the wild thing is Norvell always loved to play fast previously at Memphis and even at Florida State, but he may out of necessity want to shorten the game, which is what your point is. Take time off the clock.
Yeah, you hired Gus Malzahn as your offensive coordinator, and then you've got Tony White that came in from Nebraska on defense. Yes.
New coordinators.
Florida State still has talent. Oh. Did they bring in the right kind of leadership? That's what I'm curious about.
Right.
We had a 14 pop while we're watching this. So Florida State plus 14.
Here's what I know. Malzahn's beaten Auburn in the past, or beaten Alabama in the past while at Auburn.
Yes.
Malzahn left a head coaching job at UCF to come run the offense for Norvell. Norvell used to be one of his assistants way back at Auburn. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for this one again Saturday afternoon on the Florida State-Alabama matchup from Three Dog Thursday. With that, we want to tell you about a sponsor, how to get into that game or any of the other big games. Let's do that right now as part of Three Dog Thursday.
Tickets to everything are expensive these days, and I know you're like me. You want to catch a big game or a concert, maybe even tickets to a show. Why not save some money every time you buy tickets? Visit Ticketsmarter.com or use the TicketSmarter mobile app and use the promo code WCE10, that's WCE10, to save $10 on any order of $100 or more, or use WCE20, that's WCE20, to save $20 on an order of $300 or more. It's not a one-time sign-up bonus or anything. Seriously, every time you buy tickets, you can save money on already great deals. So do yourself a favor. Think smarter with TicketSmarter.
That is so well done. My Lord, tremendous job. And again, whether you're talking about Doak Campbell Stadium for the Bama game, whether you're talking about the other Death Valley, as the LSU fans want to say, for Clemson and LSU, we're going to talk Miami, Notre Dame at Hard Rock Stadium down in South Florida coming up. The Horseshoe for Ohio State, Texas. If you're looking for the Belichick opener against TCU on Monday night, I mean, on and on down the list for any of these games, Thursday, Friday, this weekend. Ticket Smarter, as Gary was saying, and use the promo codes as much as you want. Realistically, you're not going to get the better seats for the FSU Alabama game, Clemson LSU, Miami Notre Dame, Ohio State Texas. You're not going to get the better seats for under $300 for a pair of them. So use that promo code WCE20 and take $20 off if your order is $300 or more. That's great stuff for all the games this weekend with Ticket Smarter.
Yes, it is.
All right, an underdog each for us before we depart. Can I go off the beaten path? Am I allowed to do that on Saturday with all these massive interest games? We love to dig deep, get the shovel out and dig deep. I am big on this. I am big the last few years, and it's worked most of the time, on looking at a team that has played a game, a week 0 team, that is now playing a game against a team that didn't play the week before. The only matchup that I liked, I looked the way of Hawaii and their game, but Hawaii's got an injured quarterback here for the game at Arizona, so stay away from that, even though Hawaii won dramatically over Stanford and already has played a game Arizona has not. However, Fresno State, back home off a loss, they're smarting off of what Kansas did to them, especially in the second half. They are playing Georgia Southern out of the Sun Belt. Georgia Southern coming all the way out west of Fresno. Again, the Bulldogs have played under Matt Ince, and Georgia Southern under my guy Clay Helton, former Memphis State Tiger. I'm a Memphis State guy. You're a Memphis guy.
Oh, yes.
Clay Helton bringing them all the way out there. I like the team that has played a game getting short points at home. Fresno State stands out to me here. Late evening in the Pacific time zone against Georgia Southern. Gary, give me a couple other little things real quick.
The quarterback for Fresno is E.J. Warner, and no, he did not look good against Kansas. But we kind of saw this same situation arise with Wyoming a few years ago, and that was Craig Bowl was still the coach there. But they went out, they played Illinois, and they looked absolutely dreadful in the first game of the season. Next game that they played, everybody was betting against them. Oh, my gosh, this team can't even line up right. What is going on? And they came out and they thwacked whoever it was that they were playing in the second game. And nobody expected it. I mean, 90-something% of the tickets were on the opposing team. It's kind of the same situation here. Yeah, Fresno looked absolutely dreadful against Kansas last week. What if Kansas is actually really good? This is.
Well, we know this. We know that Devin. We know that Jalen Daniels was fantastic in that game.
Yes,
and he took that game over. And then there was a couple of interceptions by the Fresno quarterback that made it worse. But I like your line of thinking, obviously, that you worked out some of that stuff negatively last week. And coaches will tell you that usually your biggest improvement in college football is from your first game to your second game. After you've played one, you've been able to watch tape, you've gone on the practice field this week, theoretically, and worked on that. Georgia Southern doesn't have that. They didn't play last week.
And Fresno's at home.
Fresno is at home. But Georgia Southern can run the ball some, got a pretty good quarterback. What else here about them in this matchup with Fresno State real quick?
I'm not all that big on their quarterback. J.C. French is back for a second year. I'm not a huge fan. And as far as roster goes, just at very specific positions on the field, Fresno is more talented than Georgia Southern. I do think Georgia Southern can be good in the Sun Belt this year. I think it'll take a little bit for them to get the ball rolling and whatnot. You look at what they were last year, number 97 in success margin, number 91 in PPA margin. but both of these teams run about the same pace. Number 57 in offensive time per play last year, and number 58 for Georgia Southern. I'm with you. Like, I think this was a big market overreaction because Fresno opened as a 2.5-point favorite. They are now a 1.5-point dog at
Wow,
home.
I didn't realize it was that much that they opened
Yeah.
as a favorite. Wow.
Oh yeah, so it's a full 3-4 point swing, and yeah, I'm with you. I kind of like Fresno at home here.
Look out in the Raisin capital of the West, Fresno, California, for the Bulldogs. You've had some
Valley.
good seasons. They've had some good seasons as of late. Again, Ince is in his second season. Let's see what happens in that matchup.
Well, he's in his first year.
Is he in his first year? He's in his first year.
Yeah, he was a linebacker coach at USC last year. He was at North Dakota State before that.
My bad, because he's replacing Jeff Tedford there at Fresno State. And again, that is 6:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern time, a late night while the crazy game's going on Saturday. One more underdog to go. It belongs to Gary Segars. Are you going to Sunday? Oh, I think you are. What do we like on Sunday?
I'm going Sunday evening, and this one, the last meeting between these two, between the Miami Hurricanes and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, was in 2017, and Miami beat the absolute brakes off of a Brian Kelly-led Notre Dame team. 41-8 was the total there. Notre Dame is 0-6, both against the spread and straight up in their last 6 trips down to South Bend. Now, we're going back to like the 50s and 60s that far because they don't go down there that often.
Down to South Florida, you mean?
Yes,
South Bend is where yes.
Sorry,
Gotcha.
excuse me. All the Souths. You get the point.
Well, Jimmy Johnson put like 100 points on Jerry Faust one year. I'm trying to remember if Lou Holtz ever went down there. They've had some issues in the past. This is now Mario Cristobal's Miami team, which they were rolling along with Cam Ward. They had a couple of narrow escapes. Remember the Fail Mary game with the pass for Virginia Tech that was originally called a touchdown, and then they overruled it in the command center of the ACC and said, 100%. No, it's not a touchdown. So they escaped a couple of games, but then they got bit at the end of the season, and it cost them the college football playoff. No Cam Ward, but now Carson Beck, and obviously you really like him to give Miami a real puncher's chance in this game with Notre Dame.
I think so. I'm not like the biggest Carson Beck fan, but I am a fan of what I think he can do in this offense, right? I'm more of a Shannon Dawson fan. I'll say that. I think that he is a really, really good offensive coordinator. He used to work with Dana Holgorsen when he was at Houston. Fantastic offensive mind, and you saw what he was capable of doing last year. Curious about the wide receiver position for Miami. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to look like, but the talent is certainly there. They've got some guys that can absolutely break it open. The issue with me for Notre Dame is there is no experience at the quarterback position. And I know everybody, but they got Jeremiah Love. They got running back that could win the Heisman this year, et cetera. The offensive line is great. And they lost a lot of depth on that offensive line. So these guys are going to have to play a lot of plays. And the fact that they are going up against Miami's defensive line. If there is one thing that Mario Cristobal can get right, it is the line of scrimmage, both on offense and defense. So I like the defensive line for Miami to be able to slow down the running game, and they're going to put C.J. Carr, the new freshman quarterback for Notre Dame, they're going to put him in some weird positions, some spots
that is
he's not exactly comfortable with.
Grandson of Lloyd Carr. My God, are we old enough that Lloyd Carr's grandson is playing college football? And they'll be raucous to whatever extent on a Sunday night at Hard Rock Stadium. I mean, the old Orange Bowl used to rock for games like this when they would play Notre Dame and they would play Florida State, et cetera, in a massive game. And you like the Canes for Three Dog Thursday purposes.
Best number we can get is 2.5.
All right, 2.5 against Notre Dame. And remember, Marcus Freeman, the coach, made a whole lot of friends last year. They got all the way to the championship game of the college football playoff before being up in it. Remember, September, they lost to Northern Illinois. And everybody's going, what's wrong with Marcus Freeman? And then they ran off, 12 or 13 straight wins.
Oh, yeah.
After that.
They are – Marcus Freeman is a covering machine, by the way. I think he's covered like 66% of his games there. They are 7-2 against the spread as a road favorite. So that is something to pay attention to. Miami 0-4 against the spread against top 10 teams. But I'm bucking
You're
those
riding
teams.
the Canes. All right,
I'm riding the Canes there.
All right, for Three Dog Thursday. We wind it down here on this first edition. Love being with Gary. Look, I'm well aware that Texas is playing at Ohio State. We get that LSU is at Clemson, and all the way to Monday night, we have TCU and the Bill Belichick. My God, the Bill Belichick debut after 40-plus years as a professional coach in the NFL, as a head coach and assistant. He makes a debut in college football. So we didn't handicap any of those three games. If I say to you they obviously are all intriguing. Is there one that intrigues you more than the other out of those three?
Just from a viewership perspective, I really want to see Clemson LSU. Even more than Texas Ohio State. I think Texas Ohio State could get kind of sloppy because there's so many new players, and there is a lot of pressure in that game. It's early, all that good stuff. But LSU Clemson, you've got some pretty veteran guys at both of those schools.
Veteran quarterbacks too.
Veteran quarterbacks as
Klubnik
well.
and Usmeyer. Yeah.
Yep. So my gosh, the pressure on both of those teams. Texas Ohio State, whoever loses, it's fine. It's no big deal. If Brian Kelly goes out and loses again, that's a problem.
That
if
would
Clemson
be
loses,
fourth.
That's a problem.
If Kelly loses with LSU at Clemson, that'd be 4 straight years he's lost the opening game.
Yes, and for LSU, it would be 6.
6 total for the program, but 4 for him. Stay tuned. And again, Arch Manning's debut, the big noon game.
That's let me
huge.
Jump back in on this. That LSU thing, they have spent the entire offseason focused on winning that Clemson game. You've got a team full of transfers there. If they lose that first game that they have spent so much time preparing for, what does that do to the roster for the rest of the season? That's why I'm so curious about that.
Interesting. And LSU never short on talent. And again, Dabo Swinney shut a lot of people up, winning at the end of the year and beating SMU in the ACC title game and making the college football playoff. Let's see if they win another big one. Didn't I hear something on Winning Cures about how good Clemson has been in these opening games, and in particular against the SEC? He's done very well early on in the season, and he's done very well recently against the SEC, at least against the number, I believe.
Well,
Clemson.
So Clemson 2-8 against the spread, their last 10 against the SEC. Clemson.
Okay, so obviously I got that number completely wrong against the spread. But didn't Dabo have some success in opening games over the course of the last few years?
I didn't put down a note about it. I know they are 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 as a home favorite. They certainly were not good in their opener last year when they got shellacked by Georgia 34-3. So
correct, but that's more about Georgia, right?
100%. So I don't have the numbers in front of me, but as bad as Clemson has been against the SEC, LSU 3-7 against the spread their last 10 on the road. They are 2-4 against the spread their last 6 as a road dog.
Well, remember they lost the Monday night game to Duke at Duke when they were in the top 10 2 years ago on Labor Day night, Clemson. But before that, they beat Georgia Tech 41-10. They lost a narrow game 10-3 to Georgia the year before that, and they blasted Wake Forest the year before that in openers. So what?
I remember them killing Georgia Tech several times.
2-3 the last 5 years in openers. Not such a great record against the SEC. I think they get right maybe though in this game.
TJ's got his his Phil Steele guide out, doesn't he?
I did. I had to scan and go through the Phil Steele because that's the only way I can keep this crap straight when we've got 793 teams. Is Belichick going to fall flat on his face at North Carolina? If I say to Gary Segars, is it more likely that Bill Belichick wins 5 or 6 games, or more likely that Bill Belichick wins like 3 or 4 games? What would you say is more likely?
Much more likely that they win like 6 games. Their schedule is, it's set
soft.
up brilliantly. It's so soft.
But
I don't think they're going to win the first game.
But the teams from the ACC are going to be watching these first couple of games, and they're going to know everything about North Carolina and what he's up to. And
this is true, but
that's the same of any team in any situation. But once you've got a couple of, we saw it bite Coach Prime and Colorado. They won the game, ironically, with TCU to start things off 2 years ago. And then they got a couple of other wins. But once the Pac-12 season started and those teams had seen 2 or 3 games, they couldn't do the same thing on offense. And it went off the cliff.
That Pac-12 was significantly better than what this ACC is going to be.
Good point. Good comeback. 100%. But they don't play Miami, and they don't play, I want to say, Florida State.
They don't.
North Carolina. So
they don't play SMU. They do get Clemson, but they get them at home, and they've got a bye week the week before and a bye week the week after.
Do not be surprised. I'm on the record everywhere that they're like a 3-9 team, and he's done after 1 year. It's
I
a
can
debacle.
understand that. My issue is I think they're going to at least make a bowl game. The question for me is it 6 wins or is it like 9 or 10 wins? I think it's
My
probably closer
friend,
to
they're
6.
not winning 9 or 10 games. That is never
They will have a
ever
talent advantage in like 11 of the games that they play this year.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
So,
And you're big on those metrics. We'll see. They're not
love
winning 9 or 10 games. I will be pleasantly surprised and will admit that I'm wrong when they get to a 7th win. I don't think I have to worry about that. I don't think that I have to worry about them getting to a 6th win, North Carolina. Needless to say, I think TCU wins that game in Chapel Hill
I agree.
on Monday night. And then get ready for Bill Belichick's mumbling press conference after it's over with, and try to shut down the media even more if you possibly can.
We've got a friend that will be very, very happy if they do get to 9 wins, and that would be our buddy Giannini. He's a big Bill Belichick guy.
Oh yeah, I do. Our buddy Chris Giannini is like waving the Tar Heel blue banner here for them, but I don't see it. I don't see it. What I do see by means of recap that we each went in with 3 underdogs. I will go again by recap with East Carolina on Thursday night. I will also go with Baylor on Friday night against Auburn. East Carolina at NC State. Baylor at home with Auburn Friday. And my third one was a little more obscure, Fresno State and Georgia Southern. You, my friend, went with Florida State Seminoles against Alabama, with Northwestern at Tulane, and then you followed up with the Canes, the renewal of the Catholics and the Convicts. We remember that from the 1980s. Speaking of Lou Holtz and Jimmy Johnson, the payback for Miami running it up on Notre Dame was the famous Catholics-Convicts game 1988, where Cleveland Gary literally scored the go-ahead touchdown with seconds remaining by putting the ball right on the goal line. And the refs called him down and said it was a fumble or whatever and gave the ball to Notre Dame. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Anything else in closing on 3 Dog Thursday? Are we ready for this weekend? You've done such a great job picking all the games with all the content. Anything else in closing on 3 Dog Thursday?
I am so excited. I'm so excited about Corey Heatherman being the new defensive coordinator at Miami. I'm excited to see what on earth Florida State looks like after just a dreadful year. I'm excited about all of it, like all of these new faces at all of these different places. And maybe the most exciting thing is going to be what happens with Dave Portnoy and Big Noon Kick. That's
it's like the song from the 70s. It's only just begun. Get ready for him creating confrontation and static with Ohio State, because this isn't the last time that Fox intends to be at Columbus and at Ohio State. And if he does what is believed that he's going to do with torching them every which direction, I don't know. I don't know how it goes for him, for Fox Sports, the Ohio State relationship, the Big Ten relationship. Stay tuned. It will not be dull for that pregame.
They need to lean into it.
Oh yeah, let's see if they do.
Style.
Well, right now, Fox is loving this. They haven't even done a show yet, and it's everywhere. And by the way, salute to the legend Lee Corso signing off on ESPN College Game Day. They are also in Columbus for Texas and Ohio State. His final time on that show, he's been synonymous with that show for 30 years with Lee Corso, part of the fabric of college football. Anything else, or are we good on 3 Dog Thursday?
I think we are. We hit quite a bit here.
Yes.
Went over like 9 games that we talked about. We gave out picks on 6 of them. Each of us has 2 home dogs for the opening weekend. I feel pretty good.
I feel good that we're going to see several of the pooches come home here for this week. We're all about the underdogs on 3 Dog Thursday. Again, Gary's content is everywhere in the build-up this week. All of his picks on different games, besides the ones we talked about. Go research the videos here on the Winning Cures platform, on the YouTube page, on his podcast, etc. We are merely 3 Dog Thursday. Go to 3dogthursday.com to see and read more. 3 Dog Thursday is also a podcast, but we hang out on the Winning Cures platforms. Gary, enjoy the games, brother. Thank you, as always, for allowing me to coexist here on the platform yet again.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I appreciate you. We have just a blast every time we do this. So, yes, another football season getting ready to kick. And 7 years in, 8 years in, whatever it might be. I appreciate your friendship. And yeah, let's roll this thing.
Let's keep going. Go Doggies. Woof, woof. You've been listening and watching 3 Dog Thursday. Keep it locked in on the Winning Cures platforms. And again, wherever you get your podcasts, if you're only seeing us, you can take 3 Dog Thursday in your ears or on your Bluetooth, etc., as a podcast as well. For Gary Segars, I'm TJ Rives. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the underdogs on 3 Dog Thursday.
Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Make sure and follow me on Twitter at GaryWCE. If you want to toss in a question, you can email me, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.